The national governing body for gymnastics in the United States is the United States of America Gymnastics, USAG. The United States Gymnastics Federation, USGF, was founded in 1963. The United States Gymnastics Association, USA Gymnastics, is in charge of choosing and training national teams for the Olympic Games and World Championships. USA Gymnastics' objective is to promote gymnastics participation and excellence in all facets of the sport. There's no doubt that the United States Gymnastics Organization and the competitors within it are exceptional. They're often showing off their insane skills and talent during the Olympic Games that are held every 4 years. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Yurinchenko double pike. Simone Biles, the most decorated gymnast in history, became the first woman to accomplish the ultra-dangerous Yurinchenko double pike in competition just recently in May 2021 at the US Classic. As you can imagine, accomplishing such a move is unheard of, since Simone Biles was the first and only person to complete the move. It's a masterpiece of a move, with Biles having to launch off the vaulting table with a round-off back handspring into 2 flips in a pike position. Most gymnasts won't even dare to practice it. It's the kind of technique that a platform diver can accomplish considerably more readily because of gravity and the safety of a soft landing. Biles, on the other hand, pulls it off by generating enough speed and strength to lift herself into the air and then flip so swiftly on the way down that gravity appears to be caught off guard. Others were as well. Even the vault's namesake, Natalia Yurinchenko, a former Russian gymnast, has never attempted it in competition. The double pike is named after Yurinchenko, who invented the round-off back handspring approach to the vault rather than what Biles can presently perform after pressing off it. You'd think Biles' accomplishment would be reason for celebration, and this kind of move would catapult the US team leaps and bounds ahead of the competition. Nope, the judges gave her a 6.6, which was way too low, given the difficulty of the maneuver by any measure of everyone watching who wasn't a judge that night. I feel like we just have to get what we get, because there's no point in putting up a fight because they're not going to reward it, Biles told the New York Times. So we just have to take it and be quiet. Gymnasts are judged using a scoring system that takes into account the difficulty of the movements they accomplish. The Yurinchenko double pike has a low starting point, which some believe is intended to deter gymnasts from attempting the risky move, or to prevent a GOAT like Biles from winning gold, or you could do both. It's not just a pity that we may never see an all-time great athlete honored for something that may never be done in competition again, but it's also the latest indicator that the Tokyo Summer Olympics will not treat its athletes fairly. They're both too low and they even know it, Biles added of her scores in the Times interview. But they don't want the field to be too far apart, and that's just something that's on them. That's not on me. Although Biles was hit very hard and unfairly with her scoring for this move, it is clear that she is a huge asset to the USA Olympic female gymnastics team, and if she can keep completing these insane new moves that have never been completed successfully in the history of gymnastics, then of course the other countries don't stand a chance. Suni Lee shines in spite of her recent grief. Suni Lee, the youngest gymnast of this year's Olympic team, is only 18 years old, but she performed like a pro. Nicknamed Suni, placed second to Biles in the all-around with a score of 115.832, but she took first place on uneven bars and beam. She also received the highest overall score on day 2. In the autumn, Lee, the first Hmong American to qualify for the Olympics, will be a freshman at Auburn. She has recently had to deal with a lot of difficulty. John, her father, was paralyzed from the chest down after falling from a ladder while pruning a tree in 2019. The global health situation killed her aunt and uncle last year. Lee also injured her foot in June of last year, which kept her out of training for 3 months. All of this added to her outstanding uneven bars performance. It was one of the key reasons Lee, who scored 30.2 points on the apparatus during the 2 days of competition, earned a position on the squad. On the balance beam, she also demonstrated her strength. Lee received a boost from defeating Biles, a personal buddy. When asked about this, Lee stated, "That gives me a lot of confidence, especially because I still haven't done all 4 passes on floor and my bar routine could have been a little better," Lee said after the trials. But she acknowledged that beating the world's best gymnast in Tokyo will be a tall order. "I know it probably won't happen again because of her floor and vault, and she usually is pretty good on everything else, but I was really excited." Now, we mentioned Lee as she is a very strong asset, closely behind Simone Biles for the US Olympic gymnastic team. Having such a strong team will be invaluable for USA Gymnastics and will put them in a great position to take home the gold medal, that's for sure. Jordan Chiles being trained with Biles. Jordan Chiles was ready to retire from gymnastics after finishing 11th in the all-around at Nationals in 2018. Instead, she traveled from Vancouver, Washington to Texas in 2019 to train at Biles' family's facility, World Champions Center. Since then, Chiles hasn't looked back. At the 2021 Winter Cup, the 20-year-old won the all-around vault and floor exercise, as well as silver on beam. Chiles won bronze in the all-around and vault at the US Championships. She has also now dropped in her previous 24 events, so anticipate her consistency to be a strong strength in Tokyo, just as it did in the trials. Childs was chosen by the selection committee after finishing third with a score of 114.631. She has committed to UCLA, which has won 7 NCAA team titles. On uneven bars, she came in second, and on the floor exercise, she came in third. Her training buddy, in particular, was ecstatic. Biles expressed admiration for Jordan by saying, "I'm very proud of Jordan." Each athlete is allowed to bring one coach to Tokyo, which means Laurent and Cecily Landy, who trains Biles in Chiles, can both attend. "I'm thrilled that we'll be able to have both Cecil and Laurent since we're all a team," Biles said. "Having the complete team go to Tokyo means everything." It is clear that Biles holds this team together, and the fact that they are so vocal and active in helping each other succeed and grow is a very good sign. Their ability to work great together while also being genuine friends means they will come into the Olympics very strong and united, which is always a good thing performance-wise. Biles is still performing great even though it's not always her best. After winning the best all-around score, 118.098 total at the trials, Simone Biles, who won 5 medals, 4 of them gold in Rio in 2016, secured her automatic berth for the Tokyo Games, but she didn't do it the way Simone Biles usually does. Biles made some uncommon errors on day 2 of the trials. After a crowd-pleasing, if safe, performance on day 1, she tripped on the balance beam, stepped out of bounds during her floor routine, and made a couple of errors on the bars. Her blunders were enough to drop her to second place in the all-around event on that particular day. Since her first senior national championship, no one has beaten Biles in any segment of an all-around meet. Biles, the most decorated and dominant American gymnast of all time, wasn't pleased with her first day score, which was enough to easily give her the highest overall score for the competition. She told the reporters after the trials, "Simone Night 1 kicked Simone Night 2's butt," referring to her performance on Friday, when she outscored the rest of the field by nearly 3 points. "At the end of the day, it is what it is. It wasn't my best performance. I kind of got in my head today." Unfazed, Biles, who is attempting to become the first woman to repeat as Olympic champion in more than half a century, promised that after the competition that she would just go home, work harder in preparation for her second Olympics, which will begin on July 23rd. She stated, "This is just the beginning of the road." And you best believe when she says she's going to work harder, then we will definitely see it. Regardless, it is clear even when Simone isn't at the top of her game, she is still performing at an optimal level. She is a force to be reckoned with, and even when not performing her best, she is still an invaluable asset to the US team. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Simone Biles and her fellow female gymnasts that are representing the US in the upcoming Tokyo Olympic Games. We would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.